So Angry African versus Silva. We are playing on Delta Quadrant. We don't see this map very often, so that should be interesting. And we've got Angry African playing as Terran, his usual race, and same thing for Silva. He plays Zerg. This should be an interesting game, really. We haven't seen these two playing against each other for quite some time. We know Angry African is pretty much at the top of his game right now, and definitely the favorite to win this tournament. If you are just joining us, this is PolarfluKe Heaven's Devils, and let's see if Silva can put a stop to his thunderous charge to the top. Let's see. So we've got Angry African spawning at the top right of Delta Quadrant, and all the way on the other side of the map we've got Silva spawning bottom left. That's an incredibly large distance between the two of them. That's a long way these units are going to want to trek, and I think that's going to make it even more important to get control of the Zelnaga Tower in the middle of the map. I'm really keen to see what Silva has planned for us. Like I said before, we don't get to see enough Zerg games, and I'm always keen for Zerg games. Like it's just such an interesting race to watch. And obviously Angry African, always a good sport. He always puts on a good show for all the people watching. Really good to see. So Angry African deciding to block his choke here. Not his usual build. He usually opts to put his buildings right by his base. And Alcardu, oops, I just said it there, right as he predicted it. But Angry African usually likes that tight base build, and he's sort of straying from that right now. So it's obviously a good idea against the Zerg player. You never know when those Baneling busts are coming, or those early Zerglings. We see this Overlord of Silva just moving to the top of the map. He's going to try to check the spawn up here, but he's not going to find anything. And that's obviously why he sent this drone out as well. He wants to be sure. Let's have a look at the APM quickly. We see some talk about that. Average of 244 for Silva. This guy knows how to spam those keys. He is pounding away at them. We see Alcardu saying he's a fake Asian, but you know, whiteys can spam those keys too. Let's not be racist here. Okay, so the refinery going down now for Angry African, and I want to say that's special, but it's not. That always happens. You got to get the refinery down. Spawning pool going down for Silva. He's doing it Korean style. He's going to get that gas ready by the time the spawning pool is done, so he can get that metabolic research and metabolic boost research out. And let's check the players' views quickly. Silva having a look around. Silva having a look around Angry African's base right now. He's just scooting around here with his drone. It's still alive. He's had a good look at everything. And over at Angry African's view, he has yet to find his opponent. He ran past this little Automaton 2000. Oh, I think I just saw a Reaper being built. And there comes the first Reaper for Angry African. No Nitro Pack research yet, but he doesn't have the gas for that. So we have a bit of lag here. Players are complaining. Players are the #1 priority in this game, so if we can pinpoint who in fact the lagger is, we're going to get him to leave this game soon. Silva doing a bit of a gas steal there, and that's actually going to be quite detrimental to Angry African in a game like this, because he's going to have to send that first Reaper of his, which he would usually use to harass. He's going to have to send that to take that gas out, because he'd want that gas of his, that second refinery, up soon. He's going to want to get that enough gas to be able to take to his factory. So a bit of a service announcement there. Do not alt-tab, please. If you are lagging, if you know someone's downloading on your line, leave the game. Have some respect for these players. But back in the game, we see Silva putting down his Roach Warren, while at the same time getting down his second Queen, which means he's going to be expanding soon. But he will not be expanding at his natural, because Angry African has just put down a bunker there, and he's seen that that's not going to happen. 2 more axes going down for Angry African. Dare I say we will be seeing mass Reapers again, and what can I say? I'm happy about that. We saw this against Totoro yesterday in the group stages of this, so that's going to be great. Seriously, amazing. I love this strat. I just love how cool these Reapers look when they fly around the map like that, but that was critical. I think Silva might have spotted them. He knows they're on their way to his base, and he does in fact know that bunker is up. So mass Reapers it is. We've seen 2 more axes going down, and a Marine coming out for Angry African as well. I suppose he just wants to cover all his bases here. He did in fact get that second gas of his up, and here come these Reapers. They're going to try to take out these Zerglings that are in fact working away furiously at these rocks, but there's a Roach and there's a Queen to counter that. This mass Reaper strat is going to have to change incredibly soon, because I do not think it's going to work against roaches. especially if you can get that speed upgrade for them. And let's see if he is. He's not getting it yet. That requires a lair, which is on its way. It's only 70 seconds away, so he will have that down soon. Wow, okay, so a 5 Rax build here from Angry African. So he's going to be either getting mass Reapers, or he's going to be pumping out those Marines and Marauders, and then switch into his favorite Bioball. So let's see what he decides to do. It seems like Silva, aka Numb, pretty keen on expanding here. He's already got those rocks halfway down. He doesn't want to expand out in the open at his natural. He wants to choose this what do you want to call that? I don't know. This off ramp here. This extra natural of his instead. He's still got those 2 queens out, using them nicely to spread the creep around the map here. And over at Angry African side, he's doing exactly the same thing. He's got his command center coming up, and he's got those Reapers pounding away at this destructible debris. And he's doing a much better job at it than Silva is. That's going to go down very soon. And if we look at his Raxes here, we got tech labs on all of them. And I gotta say, we're probably going to be seeing some Reapers from all of them. Let's see. Or will we see those Marauders? There comes some Marauders. Okay, so he's switching it up a bit of a mix-up. It's much better. I think he, instead of concentrating on just those Reapers, which are quite effective, especially against those Zerglings, he's going to mix it up a bit, and he's going to get some Marauders in there just to be a bit of meat for that damage of his. Okay, so back in Silva's base, his lair is actually complete now. That means he can either throw down his higher tech, which is the Spire, and there it is. I was looking for it now. It has gone down in his main. So we're gonna... Oh, let's see, quickly switch to Angry African. That scan did not see that Spire going down. Not great for Angry African. He doesn't know it's coming, but I'm sure he'll suspect it. A player like Angry African has done the rounds. He knows what's coming. He knows what to expect. So the expansion is up for Angry African already. He's going to have that nearly fully saturated. He's got quite a few SCVs there. Those two just running away with those minerals. He pulls them back quickly. But at the same time, it looks like Silva is going to make a move to expand at his second natural as well. Or is that his first natural? I'm not even really sure. His other natural. So... and Angry African decided to move out. That's really good news for us. Some action. And wow, there's a changeling in play. I'm pretty sure Angry African's going to spot that soon. Let's just check it out from his view. He just lost sight there because, yeah, I'm not sure if he saw that changeling, but that might have revealed a little bit for Silva. He's got that Overseer just sitting at the back of Angry African's base there. But here he comes, he's making the move now, and with that concussive shell and that Stimpack, he's going to be able to take a lot of them out. Oh, look at this nice move by Angry African. He moves all the way around the Queens, and he's got a brilliant position now. Those Marauders just doing some nice damage there, but there come the Zerglings. They're going to finish these Reapers off very quickly if he didn't watch it, but he does take them out. Some nice focus fire by Angry African, and he spots the 2 Mutalisks out. That's going to be bad news because he doesn't have a single unit that can attack ranged. He's just focusing that Spire now. Let's see if he can take it down. He's got a few Marauders left, but not enough. The Spire is going to survive. A slightly fruitless push by Angry African there. Not exactly what he was hoping for. I'm pretty sure of that. A bit of a tech switch is now in fact needed. He can get Marines out, but it's a little bit of a waste getting Marines from Raxes that have tech labs on them. So he might want to mix his thinking up a little bit. He's obviously already bracing himself for that harass that is no doubt coming. He's throwing down a few turrets here, well placed, I must admit. He's covering a lot of his base. He's going to want to throw a few up at his natural, which in fact he already has done. Sorry, this guy just thinks way faster than I do. So there you go. Silva's couple of Mutalisks being met by the thunderous missiles of the missile turrets. So he's not going to have much luck trying to do any harass whatsoever here. Let's have a look at Silva's base quickly. A bit of a recap at what's going on here. He does have the speed research for the roaches done. He's still got that Spire. He's busy put down a Battling Nest now, so it seems like he's going to be going on the offensive soon. Good move by him. He did sort of take the advantage by destroying that little army there and not losing anything. So over in Angry African's base, it seems like he's not really susceptible to this harass. Silva not getting the harass done, not getting what he wants done at least, and I'm not sure why these guys are pinging here. Not quite sure at all. He's got his naturals up and running now. Silva must be sitting behind in the income, and in fact he is. Angry African sitting on 1,600, Silva on 840. That just means that Mr. Richard West here, Angry African, is going to be able to bounce back a lot quicker than Silva does from taking any damage. So that little loss of his there will, in fact, not make much of a difference. That Overlord is not going to live very long if it hangs around here. At the moment, I gotta say, neither player really going for the map control. They're sort of playing very passively at the moment. I suppose at this point in the tournament, they're pretty scared of losing. They don't wanna be knocked out now. Come this far just to be knocked out. So, not what any player wants. 4 or 5 Mutalisks flying around here, and they're not going to be able to do very much damage because Angry African has pretty much encircled his entire base with these missile turrets. I suppose that's a clever move. He's got the minerals to spend on that. He's got all these researches done from the tech lab of the Raxes, so his Marines are buffed up, his Marauders have those concussive shells, the Reapers, which aren't in play anymore, have the Nitro packs, and the Stim pack is out. So siege tanks now for Angry African, as you can see on my screen here, if you're in fact watching this on YouTube, and he will be getting Thors out soon as well for those Mutalisks. So obviously Angry African thinking on his feet here. He's not gonna take any chances, and it seems like Silva has found a little piece of Angry African's base that's not quite defended. Angry African will probably fix that in just a second. But over at Silva's side of the map, he has expanded a second natural now, and it looks like he's making plans to move out. So I gotta say, if Silva does throw himself at Angry African's base now, it will count in his in Angry African's favor. Angry African has a very defensible base at the moment, but it seems like Angry African decided to move out too. These players thinking very much alike at the moment. But one thing that's slightly different here is that I gotta start using these hotkeys, don't I, for switching these tabs here. But the income is Silva's income is gonna start catching up soon and probably passing our Terran player Angry African here. So there's a lot of banelings out for Silva right now. I'm going to just echo what I said in the previous game, that banelings do work against Marines, but they do not work against Marauders and Thors. They'll take them down, sure, but you're going to need a lot of them for that. And it seems like Angry African is slowly but surely creeping ahead here with his siege tanks. He's got them lined up nicely there. In this nice little layer that he's got set up here, so once the one falls, the next one will be able to support it, and so on. These Marines and Marauders, he should really try catch Silva unawares, but Silva does have control of that Zalnaga tower. If you have a look here, you can see that force standing there, so he knows what's coming. Angry African definitely in need of more medvacs. He's training them more. He's got one idling in his base here, but it's not going to be enough. The ones that he has now, once those banelings hit those Marauders, he's going to want some healing pronto. So Angry African constantly building more units. These Mutalisks doing some nice damage here, trying to supply cap Angry African. I don't know if that's the wisest choice, but here we go. They're taking some damage now. Angry African moves back in. Silva needs to move with his other force at the same time, but he isn't doing that. His army is scattered all across the map, and if you have a look at this, he's got them numbered, but he's not moving them. There you go. He's trying to gather his forces now. He's still left this little force here. He needs to start looking around his map to collect all his units. They have not all been numbered. He hasn't found them all. He needs to get them all moving. Population-wise, we're looking at Angry African with 176 and Silva only on 114. So Angry African about to steamroll him. There go the banelings, and they take out a ton of these Marines, even half a Thor, but not enough. There are enough Marauders left to just take out anything that's left from Silva. So not the best idea. As I said before, banelings are not great versus Terran, especially if they've got those Marauders out in front. So here we go, Angry African moving along and slowly but surely just steamrolling everything that Silva thrown at him. While at the same time he's constantly producing these units here. That's obviously the mark of a really good player. He's able to do 2 things at once. Hey, what do you know? Doing a lot more than 2 things actually. So these Mutalisks falling, I think Silva is slightly disheartened now. He doesn't want to maybe admit it just yet, but it's going to be a good game in just a couple of seconds. These siege tanks pounding away at this natural. These Marauders standing here ready to take out anything that Silva can throw at him. Silva did a good job at spreading the creep all over the map there, but I suppose a few critical mistakes. Once again, I think those banelings not a great idea, but I'm not a brilliant strategist. I'm just here to talk about the game that I'm watching. So these tanks doing some nice damage here. Obviously, we're going to see the GG now. Silva making one last desperate attempt at some Zerglings. They get shot down pretty quickly. The Marauders just stimming and taking out these roaches. So good game, well played by Angry African. He adapted incredibly well to the strats that his opponent was using, and obviously that won the game for him. We see the GGs from both players, and we're going to have the second game underway shortly. Nothing going on the screen right now. As I said before, I need to start using these hotkeys for these little pop-up panels here, so I can just cycle through them a lot faster. But everyone has left the game except Angry African and Silva. I'm going to be leaving the game now too. Well played to both those players. incredibly nice game to watch, and let's hope the second one is just as exciting.